Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. This is Lydia.
And this is Alyssa.
And today we're doing The Perfect Marriage. I forgot to write down the author's name. Can you tell me?
Jeneva Rose.
Is it? I thought it was Geneva.
Geneva.
Geneva? Okay.
According to the website that I pulled up to pronounce it which was like a 2.5 out of 5 rating on pronunciation. So I'm just going to go with that.
Let's just say Jen.
Sure.
Jen. Ooh, Daddy Jen. Okay, today we're doing The Perfect Marriage by Jeneva Rose. Would you like to read the blurb?
I can read the blurb. Let's see.
You can?
I can.
Wow.
With mild dyslexia. Would you defend your husband if he was accused of killing his mistress? Sarah Morgan is a successful and powerful defense attorney in Washington, D.C. At 33 years old, she is a named partner at her firm, and life is going exactly how she planned. The same cannot be said for her husband, Adam. He's a struggling writer who has had little success in his career. He begins to tire of his and Sarah's relationship as she is constantly working. Out in the secluded woods at Adam and Sarah's second home, Adam engages in a passionate affair with Kelly Summers. Then, one morning, everything changes. Adam is arrested for Kelly's murder. She has been found stabbed to death in Adam and Sarah's second home. Sarah soon finds herself playing the defender for her own husband, a man accused of murdering his mistress. But is Adam guilty? Or is he innocent?
Oh, I should probably go with the reviews now.
Wait, hang on.
I forgot already. I'm glad you remembered.
Which is something that we need to start remembering, is to include the content warnings.
Or trigger warnings if you're fancy.
Yes. For each book, you'll notice probably in the future we might forget, and there'll be a little cute, little sultry little snippet that'll just be added in there for fun.
Yeah. That you record at like midnight.
Yeah. In between dogs barking.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the trigger/content warnings for this book is death, infidelity, murder, sexual content, addiction, stalking, and death of a parent.
So we forgot to add this content warning. Domestic violence is mentioned heavily. But it's a good book.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good book. Don't let the trigger warning deter you.
Unless it's going to really trigger you, then, stay away.
You know, that is kind of the purpose of trigger warnings. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Who found this book? You. Oh, I found this book. No, I think I found this book in a TikTok group, and I was just like, it's free. So I think we read it because it was free. Yeah, I think it's on Prime. So I will go ahead with the reviews. I have several that are very ranging.
Oh, yeah.
First one is 5 stars. What did I just read? Read it in a day. Loved the writing and dual perspectives. Felt like an investigator trying to figure out who did what. Fast-paced. Jaw dropped at the end. 3 stars. Rented the audiobook as it sounded like it would be an interesting thriller, but ended up being disappointed. This one has no stars. I can't believe I finished this book. It is genuinely one of the worst books I've ever read. 1 star, and they just wrote 1.5, so I guess they didn't want to give it a 2, but it's not quite a 1, so it's 1.5.
You can put 1.5 on Storygraph.
I don't know why this lady didn't then. She just did 1 and then 1.5.
Weird.
And 2 stars. This book is basically every Hallmark mystery ever. It was boring, lazy, and badly written. No single character was likable. It gets 2 stars simply because I read all of it since it was free on KU.
And just a reminder, we pulled these reviews from Storygraph.
Oh, I forgot to mention that, yeah.
So.
My badgie.
That's just from that collection of readers from that field who use
just
that.
In case they're dumb and don't know what they're talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention the overall rating.
Overall rating, average on Storygraph is a 3.7.
Is it? Okay. So, not the greatest, but not the worst.
Apparently, according to those.
Apparently, according to those people.
Assortment of reviews.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, you know, you would go through there, like, scrolling to find reviews, and there would be, like, 2 5 stars, and then, like, 8 1 star. And I'm just like, But there would be, like, no reasoning. I try to find reviews with reasoning on it.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Same.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Okay.
So,
5 out of 5.
Not for me. Not a 5 out of 5 for me.
Die. No. It's okay. We already said trigger warning about death, so it's okay. I
Right,
can
right,
tell
right,
you
right,
to
right,
die.
right, right. Sure.
Four, 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 four.
Ooh.
Why is it not a 5 for you?
It was good. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'd read it again, though. Like, it's not the kind of book that I would, like, go back and probably read. I don't think so. That's how I feel right now. That's why it's not a 5-star.
I don't know if I can reread. I'm not a rereader. If I am going to reread a book, it's got to be Heaven Sent.
Yeah. For me, if I'm going to rate it 5 out of 5, it's going to be a book that I'm going to reread, you know, like, so.
You know, that's pretty fair. You may have changed my mind on this review, but we're going to get through this first.
Right. So my first 2 bullet points, because I have a notebook that I do bullet points in, are Sarah Morgan and Adam Morgan. So Sarah, I enjoy her character, and
Very boss vibes.
yes,
Yeah.
and I respect that.
Girl
And
Girl boss.
And I really, what did you say?
I said girl queen.
Same thing.
No, it's no. Girl princess and girl queen, very different.
Okay.
My bad, Gio. Girl boss.
Anyways, I respect her.
Yes.
And I respect her decision to not want to have kids at the moment, especially when like they first got married, because kids are
Terrible.
a lot.
Oh.
They're a lot.
They're a lot.
And when it comes to like being a woman and having kids, it's in a way a lose-lose situation, because it's like if you're a stay-at-home mom, it's like, oh, well, why are you a stay-at-home mom? Like, why aren't you contributing to the
Why
family?
aren't you working? Yeah.
But then if it's like you go to work and you're focused on your career, it's like, well, why aren't you paying
why aren't
attention
you
to your
raising
kids?
Yeah.
You know, so like it's a whole, in a way, lose-lose situation. And she wasn't ready for that yet, because she had a career that she was trying to build. And like the description says, she became partner at the firm she works at. She's 33 years old. And, you know, they've been married for 10 years. When they start off this book, it's their 10-year wedding anniversary, you know? So, like, now it's been a point in time where, like, at that, because I think they got married right out of college.
Yes, I think they were.
Or
like
were
college
in
sweethearts
college
kinda
or something
deal,
like that. Yeah, so she's had time to build her career. So in the beginning, she's talking about how she's ready to start a family with him, you know?
Which is what he's wanted all along.
Which is why he, in a way, cheated, because she was too focused on her career, wasn't around the house and all that stuff. I'm not justifying it.
Oh, no, definitely not.
I don't respect anybody who cheats. So
I don't care the situation. You don't do that.
No, if you're not interested, if you want to leave, if you have a wandering eye, break it up with your current and move on to the next.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair to them.
Exactly.
So, but that's just his quote unquote justification.
His reasoning. Yeah.
For why he did it.
I hate that in this book. How anytime he's like, I'm unhappy in my marriage. Well, it's because she works all the time. It's because I want kids and she doesn't. Like, he's always justifying his actions. And it makes me hate him.
He's such a whine baby. Cry baby.
Gosh. A little wiener. He probably has one.
Yeah.
No, I can't stand. Every time it got to his perspective, I was like, oh God, stop.
Oh, yeah.
You do the stupidest stuff.
It like, I felt like I was getting a brain aneurysm for every stupid thing that he did. Oh my God. Like, what's the one that pissed me off the most? What pissed me off the most? Okay. So this was when he hired the journalist who used to be a student in his class, right?
Yes.
To go do some investigation work. So she leaves. He doesn't hear from her for however long. It's just too long.
It's not even a day.
It's not. And he's on house arrest at their lake house, which if I was on house arrest, I'd of course want to be on a lake house because like about how pretty that is.
It's pretty. You can focus on your career, which is writing.
And, you know, so he's on house arrest there and can't leave. And he's like, oh my God, I haven't heard from her in so long. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. She's selling me out. I gotta leave.
I gotta run.
Literally
I gotta run.
Takes off. Like, bruh.
I think he like stole people's clothes from some truck stop
He
or something.
did, yes.
And then he like hid and all this stuff. And I'm just like,
You could have just stayed home.
I'm like, bro, what are you
Literally
doing?
could have just stayed home.
Like, you are currently being accused
Of
and have
murder.
been arrested for murder.
Yes. Murder, not only murder, a police officer's wife that he had been screwing had
yeah.
been murdered.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, then the dude's just like, oh, I gotta run.
Way to make yourself look guilty.
Literally.
Like, you're already guilty for the infidelity, but now you're just
now
making
they're
yourself
like,
look
you're
worse.
a murderer. And you're like, no, I'm not. Let me break my house arrest and run because
Yes.
this chick ain't returning my phone calls.
Yes, that. Oh, that pissed me off so much.
Wait, I think it was like Sarah had cut the phone off at the lake house or something. She cut the phone off at one point, and I think that's when he started freaking out.
I think that's why, because it's because he kept calling like news outlets to give his like story or something. I think that's what happened,
like,
right?
yeah, she's like, don't do that. And then the first thing he does, literally, she's like, stay here, lie low, don't do anything. And he's like, hire a reporter? I got it. I know the perfect one. I know who I'm hiring. And I'm just like, bruh.
I thought that was so stupid. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
every time it came about to him, I was just like, stop.
yeah.
Just cease to exist immediately, because I can't even stand listening to your reasoning and bullcrap anymore.
But, despite the fact that, all this, transpired, I never really thought that Adam was the one that killed
I never
Kelly.
did either. Yeah.
No, like, he's stupid, but he's not stupid enough to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I don't think he actually has the mental capability of doing that.
No.
Like, he just seemed like the guy that literally, physically, mentally could not be capable of doing that.
No. My top suspects, though, was Anne.
Yeah.
Her
Sarah's
assistant
/ friend.
Because I felt like, there was
Jealous.
like a point in the book when she
found out about his cheating and then was like, well, I wanted to do something to fix it, and so she took a picture of them and threatened him with it.
Yeah. So I was kind of just like, maybe homegirl's gonna do something.
Yeah.
But then I changed my mind. I thought it was Matthew for a minute, which is
The gay bestie?
Yeah.
Was he gay? I think he's gay. Pretty sure he's gay.
I think so.
The dude bestie. Anywho.
Yeah, him. I thought it was him because he kind of seemed like the kind who would, defend Sarah at all costs.
Yeah, he did seem very protective of her. Kind of like an older brotherly kind of way.
Yeah.
So I could totally see that, yeah.
I thought Bob for a hot second, who is Sarah's
boss?
coworker. Not boss.
Yeah.
Not boss. It was coworker.
I didn't like him. He was unnecessary.
I didn't like him either.
Yeah. He was definitely unnecessary in the book. But, like, I get it because it's, like, work rivalry.
I wouldn't necessarily say he was unnecessary, only because of the ending.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that.
So, I also thought it was the sheriff.
I did think it was a sheriff for a while because he started getting, like, flirty with Sarah.
He was just sketchy.
Yeah. And it seemed to me like he was kind of, like, trying to get with her and, like, figure out what she knew, but in, like, not a professional kind of way, and that was really pissing me off because even though it didn't say that he was like abusing his power, it kind of felt like he was.
Yeah,
like that made me feel icky,
Yeah, no, yeah, that was kind of like my thought process through the whole thing. I definitely didn't think it was Adam. I kind of toyed with the idea of it being Sarah, but with the way that this book is written, it made it sound like she didn't know, and she was very pissed off at the situation.
Yeah.
And she really didn't want to be representing Adam, but she did it anyway just because
she loves him.
Yeah.
Which really, I don't think that'll happen in the real world.
No.
Because conflict of interest, especially because he cheated on her.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know legal stuff.
I don't know legal stuff, but like personally, I should not be allowed to defend my husband in court if I found out he was cheating and then that, mistress was murdered.
Yeah.
Like, how is that legal that I should be able to do that? Like, that's whack to me, honestly.
I don't know.
I think once I started this book, I couldn't put it down. This is my notes. They're out of order. This one was another so intensely unputdownable that I read it in the shower because every Kindle book I'm going to be reading in the shower.
I won't be, but I'll be reading it, like, whenever I have the chance.
Not in the shower, though. What about in the toilet? Do you read in the toilet?
Sometimes.
There we go. We're bathroom readers. The person you hate watching crime shows with, the ones that audibly I'm just like, oh, I know what's gonna happen, like, oh, this guy's gonna be the murderer, and then 5 minutes later you found out that guy's actually the murderer. And usually I'm that way with books too. I'm actually more so at wait, I'm actually better at guessing the plot of books than I am like crime shows or movies or whatever. But this one took me by surprise.
Yeah,
Because I would be like, oh my gosh, it's Adam. No, it's not Adam. It's the sheriff. It's got to be the sheriff. No, it's not the sheriff either. It's Scott. It's Kelly's husband. And no, it's not him either. And I'm just like, dang. Like
Yeah.
Scott didn't seem that bothered. Like at first he was like really mad about it, but then all of a sudden he wasn't.
I think he was more so mad at the fact that
She was cheating than the fact that she died.
he was getting accused of domestic violence, which I think he definitely was doing.
I think definitely.
Which
They
I don't-
never said for sure or for sure not he wasn't doing it, but I'm pretty sure.
Which I don't understand how that's not a content warning, given the situation in the book.
Probably because it did mention bruising and stuff, and it did
Yeah.
mention it more than once. The plot twist.
Plot chest.
The plot twist. The plot twist. Absolutely blindsided. Like I remember reading it, and I was like, my jaw actually dropped because it finally was talking about like. I think it was the last chapter, maybe. Like he's on death row, and then it took me a minute to realize it was her, but then and I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah, because it's not like they or the author like explicitly states.
Yeah, it wasn't like she killed him, but nobody else knew.
Yeah,
Like, it
no.
didn't tell you to the
It's-
very end of the book
It's that last line,
that she said to him before he died.
which if I had the book, because I returned it on Kindle Unlimited, and I don't want to go through the process of
It was
re-downloading
something like
but-
you'll spend your last minutes thinking of me, but I'll never
Yeah.
think of you ever again.
Yeah, that.
Oh.
I was like,
That gave
oh.
me chills. I was like, dang, that's rough. And then like they had already started the death row process.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So he literally physically could not move or tell anybody, and he's just dying for her killing.
Yeah, because
And his mom was there, and then she
Oh,
was
I
like,
hated her, though,
Yeah,
by the
I
way.
hated her.
Oh,
and she
I
was
was
like,
just
"Don't
like-
ever contact me again," kind of deal. But like, I don't blame her, honestly.
Yeah, no.
She sounds like the mother-in-law from Satan.
I would have, if it was me, I would have been like, no contact
Yeah.
with her, because she's just so unbearable.
Yeah,
I was,
man. That's probably why he sucked so bad. Is because he was such a mommy's boy.
yeah.
I love
for
my
sure.
son, but not that much. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that obsessive and controlling.
No.
But this book was very unpredictable. There's so
I
many
agree.
people in the reviews that were like, "Oh, it's so predictable." It wasn't for me. Like this crap just kept going left and right, and I was just like, "Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, that makes so much sense."
Yeah. I'd like to think that I'm the kind of person that can, like, guesstimate
Yeah.
stuff like that and be like, it's totally
This is
that
what's gonna
person, you know?
happen. Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, crimes and thrillers like that, I'm usually not that great.
I'm usually way better at crime and thrillers.
If it's a romance novel, that's
Those I never see
different.
coming, yeah. No.
Then I'll know, like, the,
Yeah.
takes and stuff like that. There was a book I just read recently where this girl, she had a one-night stand, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna get pregnant. Next thing I know, she's pregnant.
That is seriously one of my favorite tropes. I don't know why. I just think it's so funny. Like, not funny. It's like bad, but like in a funny way.
But then she's not living in her hometown, but she goes back to her hometown, and then
Yeah.
she's this
oh,
guy.
that's Hallmarkish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, she'll meet up with this guy, and this guy's pissed off at her, and she's just like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, he's the baby daddy.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, you knew,
What are the odds?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm good at stuff like that, like the romance stuff, but, like,
I'm better
crimes
at
and thrillers,
stuff. Yeah. I love crimes and thrillers.
I'd like to think that I am, but I ain't.
Yeah. You know how you turn on the shower to let the water heat up before hopping in?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know why I said it like that. Yes, I
Sure,
do.
yeah.
I very much do.
I'm human. I know that people do that. I accidentally stood there reading for an hour multiple times because I kept pulling the one more chapter with this book because I'd be like, okay, I'm going to finish this chapter, and then it would hint at a plot twist. And I'm like, fine, one more chapter. And then at the end, again, I was like, bro, I gotta take a shower.
I wasn't like that with this book. Like,
was.
For Perfect
my-
Strangers, I read that in like 2 days.
Yeah, I
This
think I read
book?
this one in 2 days.
This book I read in 4.
Ooh, so it dragged on for a little bit for you? It's
little
not that big.
It's not, but it's just,
Like, it was actually a chore to sit down and finish it kind of deal.
in a way. And then, like, my other thing is, when it comes to, like, stuff people recommend me and, like, new things, I'm very
Reluctant.
hesitant
Yeah.
to start them. So, like,
Yeah.
when you recommended me this book, I was like,
Sure, but I'm
guess.
probably not really going to read it.
I was going to read it. I felt like it's only fair because I shoved perfect strangers in your face.
You
So,
did.
you know, having to shove another book in my
You
face.
stepped on my
know.
foot like a trash can and shoved it down my throat.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
I did this. Honestly, I kind of wasted my shove down your throat on this book because I gave it a 5 out of 5. But then the more we sit here and talk about it, the more I'm kind of like, eh. So I'm probably gonna change my review to probably a 4 because I do believe it still was unputdownable, but like it could have been better.
I originally had this as a 3.5.
So you changed it to 4.
I did
Yeah.
when we were talking about this
Yeah.
a hot minute ago.
Yeah.
I just boosted it up because, you know, it was good. I feel like 3.5 was maybe a tad harsh.
Yeah. Anyways, so something that I disliked and was like, I hate Sarah because, you know, she was girl boss. She was pretty strong, even though she was technically lying to God and everybody in this book. Well, she named her daughter. Like, for one, she had a daughter.
Yes.
And for two, what she named her daughter.
Well, we don't find out she has a daughter until like
the last page.
right, which
I don't need that. Like, the literally last paragraph, I believe.
the one chapter it ends where he is found guilty.
Yeah.
And then it starts off either like the last chapter or it's the epilogue.
It's
I
on
forget.
the death row. Yeah.
Whichever that part is.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's that blog or not.
Which is 11 years in the future.
Yeah.
And then you find out she's got a 10-year-old daughter
Yeah.
who she has the audacity to name Summer
Yeah.
after Kelly Summers, who is the woman that her
she
husband,
murdered
who her husband had an affair with.
My husband wanted babies for 10 years and I said no. So I'm going to have a baby within a year and name her after a lady I murdered.
Yes.
That my husband loved.
I was like, damn.
I think she murdered her because, obviously because her husband was screwing her, but also because he loved her.
Yeah.
Like, he loved Kelly, and I feel like she was jealous of that fact, and that's why she murdered her. Not because they
Yeah.
were having an affair, but because he actually felt for her.
I think also because, like, he just didn't have respect for her.
Yeah.
In the sense where it's like, if you're cheating on someone,
In
like...
almost said swamp house, in the lake house that she pays for with her big lawyer bucks,
Oh, yeah.
while he's a struggling writer who
Yeah.
hasn't brought money in forever,
Yeah.
and he has the audacity to have an affair.
Yeah.
Like, sir, she buys your underwear, and you're gonna go take them off for some other lady? I don't know why that's where my mind went, but like,
But, like, it's in the sense that, like, he has no respect for her as, like, a woman and is cheating on her.
yeah,
But also doesn't have respect for her for putting her career first before
Yeah.
settling her life with him.
yeah,
You know? That... I think that's one of the other reasons why she probably did it.
Yeah.
Besides jealousy. And you know what? I think if she didn't do it, Anne, maybe Matthew, might have done it for her.
I can definitely see Anne doing it because I got the feeling that she had feelings for Sarah and just didn't want to say anything about it. Which is, I understand that Sarah killed her, but when? Because her and Anne were out drinking that night. And it's like, oh, she's got an alibi, but then all of a sudden, at the end of the book, she doesn't. Or she did it, but she still had an alibi kind of deal.
She was with
Anne.
until like 11 that night. And the lake house is like an hour from where they live, which takes place
So it'd take her till midnight to
This
get
takes
there.
place in DC, so it'd take yeah. So after she did the deed where she stabbied,
Yeah. Like 37 times? One of 37
yeah.
times? Yeah.
Well,
at
she
least she
just
laid down a
probably went
shower
home.
curtain.
Yeah, she probably just went home.
What did she do with the shower curtain?
Burned it, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many gaps in this book.
I think that was something someone said in...
Yeah, 'cause she's like, well, I stabbed her 37 times, but I laid a plastic sheet over Adam to make sure he didn't get blood splatter on him, which is that was kind of sweet, you know. that was really
wow,
sweet.
she's so nice.
You know, little girly pop there. But no, like, what did she do with that?
She probably burned it.
Yeah, I don't think it ever mentioned that. I think it didn't mention her clothes and something about her clothes, eating her clothes. I don't know. I don't think it did actually.
I don't remember. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a sec. But like, there's just so many holes in this, and so
Yeah.
many things in it that's like that can't happen that way. Like, I understand it's a small town and small town police, but
At the lake
it's
house.
so weird. Yeah, the
DC
lake house.
isn't an...
Yeah, DC is not.
DC's
No.
not that
Yeah,
small.
lake house, yes, but DC, no. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And how it randomly mentioned this other dude that happened to be sitting at the restaurant that Kelly
Yeah,
worked
that
out
was
every day.
so-
That was so off the wall.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, it's this dude that you've never heard of, and apparently all of a sudden he's a stalker. Just kidding, it's not him. I'm like, what was the point of bringing him in and doing that?
And then, like, all the distant family where it's like, oh, well, Kelly used to have a different husband, but that other husband, you know, was whatever.
She ran away and
Yeah.
changed her name. And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
What's the point?
how is this relevant? Oh, it's okay she got murdered because that's not what her name was. It's okay, guys. And I'm just like, excuse moi. No, I really did love this book after I read it, but like the more we talk about it, the more I'm just like,
Maybe not.
no, maybe not. Yeah, no, I do believe I will change my review to a 4. It's not terrible, but I won't read it again.
Yeah, I originally had this as a 3.5. I did boost it up just a little bit after we talked about it, so more like a 3.94, something like that. I'm hesitant to make it a 4.
A 3.94.
No, a 3.9/4.
Oh, I thought you said it like 3.94,
That's what
and I was
that's
like,
what I meant. That's not how it came across.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to make it a 4.
So better than 3.5, but not quite a 4.
Yeah,
So like 3.75.
maybe a little bit more than I don't know. Like it's good. I don't think I'd put it at a 4, but it I don't know. Maybe
I love
somewhere.
how I have 3 bullet points here.
Oh.
I forgot until I just looked down. Sarah's girl boss. Adam can kiss a toad. I don't know. I might have been a little bit tipsy when I was drinking this because some stuff is misspelled.
When you were
And-
drinking this?
What?
That's what you said.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I am sober tonight, I promise. I'm just running off like 4 hours of sleep. Oh, and the third is, will Def recommend? I might have been tipsy writing this. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I would definitely recommend the book, for sure.
I'll recommend it. I would put a trigger warning for sexual content
Yes.
because it does mention him and Kelly. So there, yeah, I would be like, oh, this is good. This book's okay if you need like a palate cleanser, but
But
I'm not gonna tell my grandma to read it.
I think the mystery of it all, though, too, was really good. So if anyone was looking for something like that, I would definitely recommend it.
I do like the mystery and the suspense.
I
kinda
just
deal.
personally wouldn't reread it, you know?
No, yeah, this definitely is not a reread. Unputdownable the first time, but I feel like I feel like that if I was gonna read it again, I would physically have to drag myself through it.
I'd probably have to wait a while until, like, I forget what happened.
Yeah,
And then have to reread it.
And then halfway through, you'll probably remember and be like, "Oh yeah."
But I don't really plan on it. Like,
Definitely.
you know
not.
how there's, like, a level where it's just, like, which we talked about in the first episode, where it's just, like, book trophy worthy
Yes,
versus not.
this is not.
This isn't. Like, I've gone to bookstores and I've seen it on tables. Like, I've seen it on a
Book
book talk table.
Yeah.
And, like, I thought about buying it, but I'm like, it's
It's
just...
not that good.
It's not shelf worthy.
Yeah, I'll put it on Storygraph that I read it, but I
Sure,
won't put
yeah.
it on my bookshelf.
Yeah. My final word.
Oh, I forgot my son. You stole my idea
Well, you've
for
been
summarizing.
diabolical.
I would put diabolical. Some, for me, is fast-paced, unpredictable. The third word was wow, but I'm not feeling wow anymore.
My buzzword is diabolical.
Diabolical buzzword. Your BuzzFeed word.
Yes.
Yeah.
My buzzword is
That,
diabolical.
if you were going to make a clickbait thumbnail, diabolical would be the one word. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my word. Diabolical. Because, I mean, the whole situation was.
Yeah, especially at the end when it explained what actually happened. You're
Yeah.
just kind of like,
Did we mention the fact that this child that Sarah had was with Bob? Who, throughout the entirety of the book...
was like, oh, I can't stand him.
Yeah.
He sucks. I hate him.
Yeah.
And then were they secretly having an affair, or did they just get together after her husband was arrested?
Well, Bob helped her
Yeah.
with the murder.
Yeah.
She's the one that did it, but he helped.
Yeah. Man, I forgot about that. I forgot
Yeah.
he helped.
Yeah. So he was part of it. But
And then she had a kid with him.
so I mean, for all we know, because it's not explained, she could have been having an affair too. And that's why she overworked herself.
Why would he help her if they weren't having an affair?
True.
Like, They're just coworkers. Would you help one of your coworkers murder somebody and hide the body?
Nah.
Okay, for real. See, yeah.
So yeah, like the whole situation was diabolical. So that's
yeah,
why that's my buzzword.
That's a perfect word for it. Yeah, it was very fast paced for me though. Some of the reviews said it like dragged on, which is I can see how some stuff was repetitive, especially when it was like Adam's perspective, and oh my gosh, every time I think about him, I can feel my brain sag.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bruh.
Yeah.
I hated him so much. I don't think I've ever hated a male character more than I've hated Adam.
I mean, I've hated my fair share of male characters.
Yeah.
With Adam, probably the most times I probably would have wanted to run headfirst into a cement wall because of how stupid he was.
Yeah. Bro, I can't even. Every time I think about how stupid that character was, I'm just like, man. Okay, well, I think that about wraps us up.
Before we go,
okay,
can we shout out our good friend Jerry?
Not. Yes. No, yeah.
You better, because he's going to come for you.
he would probably come for me. Jerry, I love you, man. No, so the intro was made by Laced Mapes. LACED MAPES. You can find him on YouTube. I think he also does Twitch streaming for video games. He's a really cool guy. I really love him. Unless he's listening, then I really don't love him. He kind of sucks. But no, yeah, he did our music. And shout out to Fiverr, because we found the guy to make our logo on Fiverr.
We'd shout him out, but he said...
We asked him if we could shout out, and then he never responded, so we kind of took that as a no. So, shout out to Fiverr.
Yeah. For helping us find him at the very least.
Yeah, Fiverr actually did have a lot of stuff. I was really impressed with it. So I know that if I have to pay for more stuff to be created, I'm definitely going to Fiverr.
Me too.
And if they want to sponsor, that'd be pretty cool. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, if you want to email us your thoughts, opinions, or book recommendations, our email is biblioaudiopod@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us that same stuff.
Those things.
That stuff too. Yeah. Or check out our content on our Instagram, which is at biblioaudiopodcast. We'll have a sneak peek, not like sneak peeks, but like a post dedicated to the next upcoming book. We'll have a little teaser for the book and a bunch of other bookish themed kind of like posts on our Instagram if you're wanting to follow that.
So definitely check it out.
And I think that's about it.
Yep.
My voice is cracking a little bit.
Puberty.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, don't it?
A little bit.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.